Hello everyone, and welcome to my review for Kengan Omega Chapter 122. We got a very exciting chapter this week, but before I get into the review, I of course have to mention my subscriber goal for 2021, hitting 5,000 by the end of the year. We are 1,466 away from that goal, so if you're already a fan of the channel and you're not subscribed, you should, to help us reach that goal. Every sub counts. So you should definitely hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. The other thing is my Patreon. Since it's the start of the video, it's time to give a shout out to my wonderful patrons. Special thanks to Fuse, Neo, Dijon Redden, Honey Mustard, Zach Rowitz, K-God, Chris Redfield, Scratch23, Moonshadow935, Rat, Ryzen 4K, Artist, Mac Campaign, and Wave of Manga. Thank you all very much for supporting me on Patreon. I greatly appreciate it. And if you too want to get a shout out at the start of videos or access to reviews for Solo Leveling and the Boxer, you can always become a patron as well. There's a link to my Patreon down in the description. With that out of the way, let's get on with the review. So this is a big chapter with big reveals, 22 pages, longer than what we've usually been getting normally. They seem to reserve really important chapters for going into the 20s in terms of the page count, and this is a pretty important chapter. So we get more of the fight between Faye and Waka. It's pretty good so far, but the big thing that happens, the first big thing that happens, is the big monitor they have in the arena. You know, like when you have the big, what is it, like the Jumbotron? Either the big screen in the football arena or that big, like, 4-screen thing they have, like, hanging from the ceiling in the middle of a basketball stadium. Yeah. So Tiger NIKO takes that thing over and reveals himself. And this is for a few reasons, but the overarching one is to reveal himself to his students. The first of those students would, of course, be Agito and Oma, since both of them were trained by him. More so Agito. Agito was trained in the NIKO style and then inducted into the Gu ritual and learned the Formless because of Tiger NIKO. So I would say Agito is much more his student than Oma, but I think calling Oma his student is probably something to, like, fuck with him because he's the one responsible for Oma's NIKO dying. You know, kind of responsible for it. His fight with him was why he ended up losing to Kiryu's master. And both of them get really pissed off. Agito, like, crushes the metal handrail that's in front of the fighters area. Pretty cool stuff. And he's just remarking on how, like, oh, wow, you guys have sure have gotten a lot stronger. Anyway, take a look at my newest disciple. So, yeah. Also, Jiaji is pissing his pants over Tiger NIKO being here because he is one of the people that's pretty much equivalent to rank with Eddie and the head. I'm assuming Eddie and Tiger NIKO are maybe relative to each other. But still, also, this is the first time in a while we've seen Eddie and Jiaji ever since Alan got ripped in half. Where the fuck is Ryan? Like, these two guys have been taking a casual stroll around the stadium after Ryan went, like, fucking full-speed sprint after them. Where the fuck did Ryan go? Did he go to, like, wash off or something? How the fuck has he not caught up with these guys by now? I have no idea. Is he an idiot? Yeah, actually, he is. So maybe that explains why. He got lost. He fucking lost them. He couldn't figure out where they went. But Eddie confirms that Tiger NIKO only has 3 students left. I guess that means Lu has maybe already been eliminated. A lot of people have been saying that Lu Tian would probably get offed after revealing himself and looking like an idiot. So now there are only 3 students of Takeda NIKO left. Can you guess who the third one is? Yeah. So Faye and Waka are still going at it, and then Faye goes into, like, the Karate Kid crane stance and says, I'll let you in on a secret. This stance is absolutely useless. So, I don't know if the crane stance is, like, an actual thing in, like, Tai Chi or Kung Fu or whatever, but as I've mentioned, as a lot of people have mentioned, Tai Chi is bullshit. It's not a martial art for fighting people. It's a thing for learning body control, and it's a good idea to learn it before you learn an actual martial art. It's not something you would use to fight or defend yourself. You would get your ass kicked like all of those Tai Chi masters in China who were getting their shit kicked in by that mad dog guy who did BJJ. So Faye admitting that this stance is completely worthless is hilarious. I find it so fucking funny. And I guess that means that he's just been totally pretending to know Chinese martial arts, maybe? Well, you know, Tai Chi. Maybe he did learn calisthenics so that he could be better at other martial arts. But, you know, it's not his thing. So Waka goes in for an attack. And at first it seems like he's gonna get judo thrown again. But no, he's being, like, thrown up in the air with one hand. And without Faye really changing his stance. So, as the people realized, this is Weeping Willow. NIKO-style Weeping Willow. Faye says, "This is my NIKO style. I am the tiger's vessel." So there you have it, folks. The reveal we have waited for fucking ever for. This entire tournament. So many different predictions about who the tiger's vessel is. It's all finally officially revealed today in this week's chapter. We had already kind of figured with the last few chapters, especially last week with Tiger NIKO showing up and Faye somehow surviving Oma's punches, or not Oma's punches, Waka's punches. He's the fucking tiger's vessel. And now it's confirmed for real. So, there you have it. Something I find very interesting here is that this time, unlike in the Annihilation Tournament, Weeping Willow worked on Waka. Last time when Oma tried using it on him, he just said no. Just stomped his feet into the ground and said, "Fuck off, I'm not getting flipped over by your technique." Now, maybe it was because in this situation, Waka wasn't expecting Faye to use it. I guess that may be a possibility. But what I find to be more likely is that Faye's just better at using it than Oma was. And we should remember, well, no, actually, Waka's not heavier for some fucking reason because his muscle should still be growing nonstop. It's actually, seems like kind of an oversight on Sandra's part that Waka's not heavier. But he's stronger now because his muscle grows. Somehow, Faye was able to flip an even stronger Wakatsuki after Oma was not even able to move him during the Annihilation Tournament. So that right there suggests to me that, yeah, Faye is at least better at using this part of the NIKO style than Oma is, or was. Maybe Oma's at this level now, but he's stronger than Oma was at that part of the Annihilation Tournament. Also, Faye is in perfect condition. He's not all beat up and dying like Oma was by the time he got to the semifinals. So we have Faye, who is in 100% condition. Well, not 100%, he's taken a few hits now, but you know, he's not suffering from a bunch of internal injuries. His heart is not exploding. And he's fighting a stronger Wakatsuki and still managed to flip him over with, like, no fucking difficulty. So this is gonna be a little bit of a problem for Wakatsuki. It seems like the Tiger's Vessel is living up to the hype. He really is top tier. It is really interesting. Faye has been more interesting and entertaining than I expected. Because before even getting to the NIKO style stuff, he had already had stuff beyond just Tai Chi. Like him having learned other martial arts for the sake of putting on a good show and honestly being more effective in combat was really interesting. It's a really interesting thing to do with one of the fighters. I like it, once again, because all of the martial arts that he has learned are actually good in real life, unlike a lot of martial arts you'd see in manga and anime. So I already liked what they were setting up with Faye, and now having that in place before this reveal and getting this reveal makes me very interested in Faye. I like Faye a lot so far, and I think this was built up to very well. I think this reveal was very well done. Now, I'm very excited to see how a lot of the other characters react to this reveal. Honestly, I'm most interested in seeing how the other Purgatory fighters react. I feel like with Naidan and Lutien being revealed as worm members, we really didn't get enough focus on how the Purgatory team reacted to their comrades being liars, and doing stuff other than they were led to believe. So with Faye, I feel like we have a good opportunity to show that off. I'm especially interested in seeing what Lelong has to say, since, well, he's the team leader. This is like the third time this has happened, and he already seems to be suspicious of Faye because of him using martial arts that they had never seen him use before. So that's pretty cool, and I'm assuming we're going to get to see that in the next chapter. But this was an outstanding chapter, one of the best in Omega, possibly the best in this tournament, at least one of the best, probably top 5. So yeah, chapter 122, great stuff. Very excited to see what we get next week in chapter 123. So with that is all I have to say for this week's review. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. I do Kengan Omega chapter reviews every week. If you enjoy other series such as Jujutsu Kaisen, Record of Ragnarok, Chainsaw Man, and Bleach, I do videos in those series as well, so if you're interested in those, you should definitely check out my channel. If you enjoy discussing Kengan Omega with other people, or you just enjoy the content I produce in this channel, I highly suggest you check out my Discord server. I have a link to it down in the description. And of course, if you want to help support me and the channel directly, while also getting shoutouts at the start of videos and access to reviews for solo leveling in the Boxer, you can also become a patron. There's a link to my Patreon down in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys around. Take care.